So, but they said it isn't something that's going to be one of those things. Just it's going to be around forever. Then I talked about the new ambulance station opening Saturday. I talked about the new EMS headquarters, and then they also had some questions about the elections, when the registration closes and when the early voting schedule. So I got all that information for him. Let's see. Tuesday evening was the fire board meeting, and they had a lot of stuff to discuss and go over a lot of different, things, some training things they're working on, new projects, and bids today for the Ashland station, hoping that works well. Wednesday was Flint Hills Veterans Meeting, finalizing the plans for the parade, and then also discuss the scholarships that they award in November to veterans. They got applications in from people at K-State and MATC, but they didn't have any from MCC yet. They have 3 or 4. They got some more money, so they might be doing more this year. And then last night was the City of Randolph's meeting. They didn't have any big things. One of the things to discuss in the park board meeting coming up, what they want to submit for their work in their park. So that was plenty.
Yeah. Okay, Commissioner Ford.
It's ironic you said that was plenty. I had to go back through my notes just to remember what the hell I've done.
Yes.
I know.
Yeah.
It's been quite a week. It's been kind of a blur. Last Thursday post meeting, I did meet with Riley County Extension Director Gary Fike to discuss some things related to, you name it, Seco Park, Fairgrounds, Trough Hall, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. As well as just some general thoughts about the fair moving forward. More to come. Yeah. Also, last Thursday, I attended the October meeting of the Crisis Intervention Team that included members from Pawnee Mental Health, RCPD, and Paw County Sheriff's Department. Most of the discussions centered around the state CIT meeting and next year's CIT training that'll be here in Manhattan once again. I don't know when that's taking place. I'm going to assume probably in that July window, and I imagine it'll be back out of the Public Works site where they've had it the last couple of years. So there's plenty of time to figure all that out. So we'll see. What they're trying to do is they're going to add a segment this year for both dispatch as well as corrections. If you haven't noticed, we're having a lot of challenges with corrections at this point in time. So it's probably going to be a needed entity just given the variables of everything. And then we took quite a bit of time to talk about some of the challenges with both Riley County and Pottawatomie County jails at this particular point in time. And I'll just leave it at that at the moment. Also, last Thursday evening, I attended a candidates forums over at Potchoff Hall for both Manhattan City Commission and USD 383 School Board, hosted by the Riley County Republicans. Both forums were very well attended, both by the community and the candidates, and I thought it went very well. Both forums were questions from the audience, so they weren't prepared questions or just general questions about general topics and special interests, that type of subjects. And thought it went very well. I thought all the candidates answered the questions well. It went very well and it was very civil. I guess that's how I can summarize it. Friday, at least from my perspective, was all about football with both K-State and Manhattan High playing. Thank gosh for technology and mobile devices. Thankfully, Manhattan High won, beating rival Junction City and keeping the silver trophy here where it rightfully belongs. And I'll fight anybody over that who wants to fight over that, just for the record. And that conversation came up over the week too. Unfortunately, I don't know what happened to K-State. I just don't. It's Stillwater, I guess. I felt like we were back in pandemic football. That's what it was like to me. It was just, I didn't see any energy or desire. I don't know, just laid an egg. It was just a very ugly game. Yeah, that's all I can say. Saturday, spent some time at home watching football, catching up on some last minute items before leaving on Sunday. Sunday morning, I got up and left bright and early at 5:30 a.m. for Washington, D.C. Arrived there just a little bit before noon, just time to be able to watch some NFL Red Zone at the hotel. Always good. Got settled in, got some things prepared, got the right badges and entry passes and things for the various events that be happening throughout the conference. Monday morning was the start of the USA conference at the Walter Washington Conference Center with an opening ceremony with AUSA President Robert Brown speaking, followed by the Secretary of the Army, Christine Wormuth. I guess the proud moment during her speech is she mentioned Fort Riley specifically twice in her speech to the delegation. I don't know how many people were there. This is a packed house. It was probably 3,000 or 4,000 people. I don't know. A lot of people. So I thought that was good. Definitely took pride in that one. Of course, she was just here in August. She took some time to mention the fact that a group of Estonians have been here off and on since then too. So that was part of it. Good times. Several individual and AUSA chapter awards were presented at that ceremony. And the United States Army put together it was probably a 15-minute, because it was in Columbus Day, Indigenous People Day, however you want to look at that. They kind of put together a diversity presentation showing just kind of the things that they've worked through throughout the history of the Army. And it was very enlightening, actually. And then they ended with the day before the Army had their 10-miler and do a 10-mile marathon. So people run that, and a group of people from Fort Carson, both men and women's teams won. I think that's highly unfair because they get to train in that low air up there. I think next year they should have to train like someplace else, like down at the bottom sea level, and see if they can win again. I think fair is fair on that one. But anyway, afterwards, we had a Flint Hills chapter luncheon at Clyde's Galleria Plaza at the Capital One Center, where chapter president Rich Jankovic spoke. And our guest speaker for the event was Commanding General of Fort Riley and 1st Infantry Division, John E. Meyer. And then lastly, we moved over to the day and spoke with Steve Hychek from Baker Donaldson. That's our state lobbyist on site there in Washington, D.C. We discussed both military and legislative items. A lot of positive, a lot of not so positive, particularly on the legislative side. I don't think I probably need to go into further details on that one. Later on, kind of as a half group, I guess, we ate out dinner at a place called Founders and Distillers to round out the day. Homemade, right in front of you donuts.
Oh, really? In front of you?
And you passed on them, right?
Yeah.
All of it. Passed on all of it.
Must have been terrible.
It was. I looked at it and thought, no, man, I can't do that. Your doctor?
Yeah, okay.
Oh, actually, I did. My doctor was saying, you can't do that. You can't do that. And that's why I did it.
You can't pass up.
Go away. Go away. I had one, though, so I didn't indulge more than just the one. And oh, gosh, it was delicious. That ended out Monday. Now we'll move to Tuesday. Tuesday morning, we moved up to Capitol Hill and met with staff from Senator Moran and Senator Marshall's office, as well as Congressman Mann and Jake LaTurner, who has the western side of Fort Riley as well as Gary County due to redistricting. Obviously, that one alone too. We talked about our priorities and concerns over here for Manhattan and Riley County. Gary County and Junction City did their own thing. It may have not been perceived very well, so we may have to change some things for the future, but we'll work on that at a later date. I did want to give a shout out to Christian Bishop and Christine Benny and Tyler Mason from Senator Moran's office for getting that meeting put together with staff. It was a good conversation. All I can tell you at the moment is with everything, it's held up right now.
Oh, yeah.
We were up there while the House was in session doing, I don't know what they were doing. Quite frankly, I don't think they know what they're doing. So, trying to walk around the perils there amongst the Capitol was just, I don't have an adjective for it. I just don't. It's a mess. It really is a mess at the moment. I hope they do figure it out. I think there's a good likelihood you're going to see a shutdown next month. I think it's just almost unavoidable. a week, 2 weeks, you're gonna see something. And it's gonna happen right up against that Thanksgiving window, sadly. And there's just, I just don't see how you're gonna work out of it. I don't think the committees are even working on trying to even build anything to where you could like, in a short notice, have something, a plan A, a plan B, a plan C. None of the 12 appropriations, including the farm bill, are done at this particular point in time. It's just kind of sitting there with question marks. So everything's just kind of in limbo right now. Good news though, in talking to staff, once we can get through this madness and the dust settles, there's some options for some things. And I mentioned the project in Ogden. I mentioned Keats. There's some things that we can work on. And we'll have to come back to it when it's appropriate. It may be January, February though. And so we'll have to be paid. I know. But my guess is we're not going to have any other options, so we're going to have to wait. So, yeah. So good news is there's light at the end of the tunnel, but the tunnel's awfully long at this point in time. And that's about the best analogy I can give you. So, yeah, the cool thing on Tuesday though, I got to see the exposition there. I was showing Rich my $250,000 Corvette E-Ray that I'm going to start a GoFundMe page for. So if anybody's got some spare funds, GoFundMe. It's for a good cause.
Put me down for $1.
Hey, every little bit helps. Every little bit helps. Yeah, I felt like once again like a little kid at Christmas looking at stuff. The one thing that really flipped me is Oakley was there, and they had really cool Oakley glasses. And I thought maybe they were for sale. You could actually like buy a pair of those. No, they're not even on the market. Like, why are they even there then? I mean,
Pre-sales.
they're not even going to be on sale until like 25.
Goodness.
I'm like, why can't you show them next year and then maybe you can like pre-order them? Yeah, I walked away from that booth just disappointed. Anyway. Now I don't like Christmas. Now I'm not a little kid at Christmas anymore. Now I don't even like Christmas. So that's just how it works out. So anyway, after that, we did have a chapter social at the hotel. There was members of the Fort Riley community, including the commanding general himself, our new sergeant major, who just arrived on site. Our old sergeant major, who actually has a position at the Pentagon, showed up with his wife and family, which I thought was pretty cool. Several high-ranking command staff and numerous NCOs were there with us too. Great time was had by all. And then we finished the evening with an amazing dinner at Old Evans Grill. Those oyster Rockefeller, those were so good. I ordered them a second and a third time. They were good. So yesterday I spent most of my day traveling back from Washington, D.C., and I did get home just in time to be able to catch up on my Community Economic and Workforce Development Committee call. Later in the afternoon, got some opening remarks from Martha Schrader, commissioner from Clackamas County, Oregon. I was stumbled on that. She is our chair. After that, we heard from Tiffany Erbeling. She's the director from Rocket X4 Health. She presented a presentation on accounting case studies for a community Rocket strength-based problem-solving model kit. I'm going to have to go back through that presentation because it was kind of complicated to watch, and it's very, very data-based, and really need to go through the numbers to really understand what all that meant. But check the graphics, but you need to understand the data that goes along with it and if you could plug that in or not. And then, ironically, we got a legislative update from Michael Matthews, and I just he's on site there in Washington, D.C. too. And when you were just there listening to it, it's different than getting a monthly update. And it just puts it in perspective when he's explaining to you when you just kind of saw it yourself, you know. But he basically explained just the same thing I explained, so I'm not going to rehash that. And then we had an open discussion, and everything that's going on there is hurting communities and counties by and large all across the country at this point in time. So a lot of uncertainty, and that's coming back. The airport looks great. They did a really good job. If you're traveling in and out of there for the next, I think, 2 weeks or so, parking's free. So it was a good call on that, and it looks really good, and they did a great job on it. So I wanted to put in a plug for that too. So that's my spiel this morning. That's all I've got.
Did you get to do any sightseeing in these?
Oh, yes. Amongst the other chaos, I did set up a tour at the White House
Oh, you did?
for
Okay.
Tuesday.
Cool.
It didn't happen.
Oh, it didn't.
While I was at Capitol Hill, I got an email at 11:46 saying, your tour has been updated to 11 a.m. President gave a speech at the East Rim on the conflict in Israel.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking to myself, well, that's no reason to cancel everybody's tour. I mean, don't you need participants to clap and stuff? I mean, you still gotta be a willing participant, you know.
Real
but-
tight security.
No. Well, and I knew something was going on because when I got
Yeah.
got dropped off over there, everything was just hustle and bustle, and
Yeah.
people were moving, and I thought something's going on over here, and so I wasn't terribly surprised. But if anybody's listening, can you guys like send an email in time to at least give me a chance to, don't send it 45 minutes after the fact. Thank you.
Did you go anywhere else then or not?
No, it's, with the 2 days being jam packed, I really didn't get a chance to. We were talking about that, and I think there's going to be a group of us next year that is going to go early, and we're going to spend a couple of days on our own,
Oh, that'd
on
be
our own
good.
reconnaissance, and maybe we might do Mount Vernon and Monticello, and
Yeah.
Tyler Mason said he can probably get us into the Pentagon on a short tour there too, and maybe do Arlington. So we might go like Friday, Saturday, get a economy hotel or something before we come back into the city and just do our own thing. If the Commanders or the Ravens are playing, we might catch that too. If the Nationals are playing in the World Series, maybe we catch that too. I don't know. We got big plans. It
There's
won't all
lots to
happen,
see.
but yeah.
Yeah. Lots to
But
see.
we'll go a couple of days early and do our own thing, and then
That's
catch
a
up
good
with
idea.
everybody else and then do the conference. Maybe a little more time of it.
Okay. Okay, well, it was hard to kind of remember what I did last week, but I did do a tour of Commerce Bank on Friday. Then I spent some time in the office. And Saturday I went to the Little Apple Marathon 5K race. A friend of mine was running in it, and that was really, it was cold out there in the Saturday morning, so everybody was kind of bundled up, but it was really well attended. So that was a lot of fun. I don't think I'd ever been to a race like that. So let's see. Then Monday, I attended the Employee Day at the AMC Theaters. It was a real well-organized event. The two keynote speakers, Service Awards, Employee of the Year Award, 2 breakout sessions with 4 choices to attend, door prizes, evaluations of the day, ending in team building sessions for each department. And I'm probably left out a few things because there was a lot going on, and it was really well attended.
Who was the Employee of the Year?
Derek.
Derek.
IT.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Oh, I did write that down.
Yeah.
So much
It
good.
was nice. I had all 12 of them come up and.
Yeah, you did a really good job putting everything together. It was very enjoyable. And, when I stood up and did the welcome, and of course that was very short, but to see all the employees sitting up
Yeah.
there is just
It's impressive,
incredible.
wasn't it?
Yeah, it's very impressive to see that and see everybody together. So that was, I think it's really a good event to have every year. So Tuesday, I met with Team Keats in the morning to discuss options going forward for the sewer district. I think we're going to be talking about that later. In the afternoon, I attended the Mental Health Summit sponsored by the Wellness Committee held in Potter Hall.
That's late afternoon.
4 group topics, of which attendees chose 2 to attend. I participated in the suicide group and the substance abuse groups. And then each group had a series of questions to discuss.
Sure.
And a facilitator to record the answers. And we will be getting a full report of all the answers and comments. Several times, there was a lot of discussion about what we're lacking in this community. I didn't hear a whole lot of positive things about what we're doing. So, there's a lot of work to be done. So, later that night, I attended a personnel meeting at the church. So it was a busy day. Wednesday, I attended the opioid task force at the Family Children Research Center of the Health Department. A lot of discussion about the steering committee proposed by Director Pete. How many and who? There's a huge group of people, and you can't really get a whole lot done with that many people. And how do you narrow it down to about 5 people? We do that. We discussed the mission statement and all sorts of things. So there was a lot of group discussion. And going to the mental health summit the day before was a good combination. Some people. Let's see. Then I came into the office and went over the agenda and meeting reports for today. They were having an election meeting, so I got out of here before everybody came. So let's see what else. Later that afternoon, I got a flu shot and I attended bell choir practice at the church. Martin was a little weak, but I got through it. So that's all I have.
Ready for business?
Yes.
We'll speed through it. I need a motion for highway use permit granting Twin Valley Telephone permission to complete work in the right of way and bury fiber at 10-4-8 Madison Road.
I wonder if that means they got that.
This is just a pick up individual. This is
Oh, okay.
just individual houses.
Great.
Move them all together. Can we make one motion?
Can we make just one motion for all of them?
Yeah, I'll fill them out appropriately.
Okay, I'm gonna make a motion to approve all the highway use permits, allowing Twin Valley to work in the right of way to bury fiber.
Second.
Moved and seconded to approve all the right-of-way permits to bury fiber by Twin Valley. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Chair, please sign.
Okay. So this kind of
This down.
it's kind of in that same area, but I thought.
Yeah, that'll help for sure.
Back up. Yeah, that's supposed to be a pretty quick turn on that.
Thank you. Need a motion on the advisory board appointments.
Go ahead and make a motion that we approve the appointment letters to the advisory board as well as the resolution.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded to approve the applications for the advisory board. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Open sign, please. Saved him a trip in town.
I was gonna say,
Text me early. If you haven't gone by yet, stop by.
Saves me trying to call him.
I'll send you the gas. bill. Next, Commissioner, need a motion on tax roll correction. And yes, Commissioner Ford, you do have to make this motion, even though it's a rather large one.
Yeah. Yes, we did.
Be honest with you, I didn't get a chance to really see this agenda because it wasn't working or something. So I didn't get a chance to look at it till this morning.
It's not a pleasant one to look
Not
at.
one to, not a good look at.
So if I didn't see it, it didn't happen, right?
Boda would disagree.
Uh,
I protest. Sorry, Hannah.
now, which property is
Let
it?
me look at it. Let me see the damage.
This is actually a stipulated value. A fee appraisal was received and we tried to settle this almost a year ago. Once they submitted their fee appraisal for that year, that same fee appraisal further supports our 22 value and our 23 value. They will not agree on 22 or 23, so we're going to full board, but their fee appraisal was reasonable. There's not a lot we could argue. It's partial completion. We have partial completion construction. It is
Oh,
challenging.
this one was falling. I didn't see one here.
This is Marriott,
Where is it?
Oh,
Port of Marriott.
okay.
What year was it for?
2021.
That was.
There's 23 still outstanding. We will go to full vote on those two. So we attempted to settle this a year ago when we received the fee appraisal. Their fee appraisal has some information that does support. They won't settle. So we stipulated this value. It was reasonable. We're using the same fee appraisal as supporting documentation for 22 and 23. So.
Does that include the entire structure? So the hotel and the garage itself, or is it?
I don't, that information.
Okay.
But I assume so, because it's the only property that's being. used.
Okay.
So we have to pay interest on the $121,000,
The interest
Difference?
included in the total payment. I believe.
the change, or,
That includes interest.
okay, that does include interest,
Is that correct, Rich?
Excuse me?
That payment includes the interest payment.
Yeah.
the 121,000
Yes, 121,000.
different.
That includes the.
She asked a question. I was just waiting for it.
Yeah, I believe it does. I was looking on the form to see if it points it out. I don't see it on there.
I don't see it.
Let me double check.
And the interest rate's still at 6%, is that correct?
It depends on the year. I don't know what the year was.
Okay.
One I know it was higher.
I think it was 8 and 21, wasn't it?
I can't.
I think it
remember. That
was
nice.
8%.
I know. You know, when they had 4 different owners that were involved, one had said we should settle a year ago, the other 2 couldn't agree, so it was back and forth for the last year.
Yeah. Okay.
Well,
Well, it's, yeah, okay.
that's,
It kind of is what it is.
What's the percent? Okay, thank you. No, that's just the basement without interest.
without interest,
Without interest.
Yeah, we put about another $1,200, $1,300 total. Yeah, and that would be total of 3 years, so.
That's just 1 year, yeah.
That's just 1 year
That's
total.
1 year,
Okay,
that's just for 21.
but we could expect that for 22 and 23 probably, right?
Like I said, we're going to the full board. The fee appraisal they submitted supports our value more so 22 and 23. So I can't say what's going to.
Okay. Yeah, we'll get it back when we're done. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead then, in the midst of time here, go ahead and move to approve the tax roll correction.
I'll second.
it's been moved and seconded to approve the tax roll correction, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Chair, please sign. And Commissioner will skip bid openings after that.
Under protest, I'm sorry.
Yeah. Oh, no.
Mhm.
I was waiting for you to press that, that's, only you had to sign that. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hard to- There is, oh, that's,
Right.
we're kind of behind, so. Okay, I'm ready to get started on the bid. Okay,
Yep, it's time for bid opening.
okay. This is from Anderson. Right?
Oh, we should open that last. Yeah.
It's the engineers.
Oh.
Engineers estimate.
I don't think he's bidding.
I was gonna open the smallest one. Just gonna
Don't want to build a fire station down?
Okay.
Whenever we're crying right off the bat.
Sorry. Okay, this one is from K Construction, Alta Vista, Kansas. The bond amount is here, 5%. Okay, we have alternates. We have 4 alternates. Alternate number 1.
Is there a base?
Years of-
There's a base, 232,623.
Say that again.
$232,623. And the alternates provide mechanical as direct indicated in drawings at 27,624. Alternate 1. Alternate 2 is the electrical, adding $61,393. Alternate 3 is providing post frame building in lieu of pre-engineered metal building. That's deduct $33,269 from the base bid. Alternate 4 is painting the bollards and door frame as indicated in the drawings. Deduct $1,285. $1,285. $1,285. Yeah, $1,285 is $1,285.
Bid on best bid from K Construction. Base bid of $232,623. Alternate 1 from mechanical, $27,624. Alternate 2, electrical, add of $61,393. 3, provide post frame with lieu of pre-engineered. Deduct $33,269. And alternate 4, paint 1. Deduct $1,285.
The second one is from Schultz Construction. With the bid bond. 5% bond. Okay, base bid $195,000. Alternate 1 is $19,600. And adding 5 construction days for alternate 1. Okay, alternate 2 is $31,900. Adding construction days to be determined pending generator lead times. Alternate 3, no bid. Alternate 4, paint bollards, deduct $625. And they have a voluntary alternate number 5. 20-year weather tightness warranty, deduct $1,700.
What was the amount? Sorry.
$1,700 deduction.
This is Schultz Construction. You have bid bond attached. Didn't read it on the first one, that it lists the working days on that. front
Oh,
page.
okay.
Can we get that first one back?
Yeah, it didn't.
Because we talked about adding days, but
Oh,
I
okay.
missed something about how many work days.
So we need to have
210.
Okay.
210. Okay, good. I missed that. Thank you.
This one we get the complete work that period 75 working days. Or lead time from metal building order date, whichever is longer. They did. We didn't check it first, but bins 1 and 2 were acknowledged. Base bid $195,000. Alternate 1, 19,600 with an additional 5 days. Alternate 2 had a 31,900 to add for lead time for generator. Alternate 3, no bid. Alternate 4, a deduct $625. Voluntary alternate with 20-year weather tightness warranty, a deduct $1,700. I feel really scared of that laptop.
Oh, well, it can be replaced, right?
Yeah, they can. That's true.
It's
I do
okay.
know that.
I'm worried about my fingers more than the laptop. Okay, this one's from Riley Construction Company. Acknowledging agenda addendums 1 and 2, 160 days. Okay, bid price $199,200.
We're on.
Yeah, there's a.
Okay.
Yeah, there is a bond. Is that what?
Line below.
Oh, yeah. Bid bond, yeah, there's one. Okay, alternate 2, $48,500.
What was the alternate 1?
Alternate 1 was 11,900.
Thank you.
Okay, alternate 3, post frame. Post frame, the deduction would be $17,050. Right. I guess price of that would be 82,150. Looks like
I
that.
just redid the math.
Yeah, that's deducting them. So
Yeah, that's deducting the 17. Okay. All right. Alternate number 4 is $900.
On that. Then there's 1 and 2 acknowledged and 160 working days. Base bid 199,200. Alternate 1 for mechanical 11,900. Alternate 2 electrical 48,500. Alternate 3 a deduct of 17,050. And alternate 4 add of 500. Add 900.
Okay, so we have the engineers, as the architect's opinion of probable construction. Base bid on the, from the engineer's estimate, $200,000. Alternate 1, $15,000. Alternate 2, $50,000. 50. Alternate 3, a deduct of 17,500. Alternate 4, $1,000. And they don't do something.
And the architects estimate base bid 200,000. Alternate 1 15,000. Alternate 2 50,000. Alternate 3 deduct 17,500. And alternate 4 1,000.
Yeah. So you
Go ahead and make a motion that we take the bids and send them back to staff for further analysis and recommendation.
I'll second.
It's been moved and seconded that we take the bids and send them back to staff for consideration. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
No, I don't.
Okay, this bid is for the Fancy Creek Road Richmond replacement.
This one might work a little bit
Better.
Make sure I get it.
Yeah, that's really
we don't
scary.
feel safer.
Yeah, this might work a little better, I think. This has got to be really old and
I don't think that thing could cut through butter.
I don't think so. Okay. Okay, the first one is from Bridges Inc. Out of Newton, Kansas.
A nice name.
Bridges Inc. And we have the bond. Showing it says proposed number. Addendum, no addendums. Okay, so I was just looking at it. Proposed number of days, 100, starting 11/20/23. And they have proposed, okay, base bid of $448,318.83.
That's bid from Bridges Inc. Bid bond attached. No addendums. Proposed working days 100. Proposed starting date 11/20/23. Total bid $448,318.83.
Hardest job I've got. There, that's much better. Everybody's safe. Okay, this is from King Construction Company out of Heston. We have the bid bond here. Okay. We have grand total of, well, wait a minute. Proposed working days 120. Honor before February 1st, 2024. And then we have the grand total of the total bridge is $389,978.83.
83 cents.
Original 83 cents.
It's a good non-round number.
I guess.
So you have a whole list of things like that.
Yeah.
Again, the bid bond attached, no addendums. Working days 120, start date on or before February 1st, 24. Total price $389,978.83.
Okay, this is from L&M Contractors at Great Bend. The bond is attached. Okay. Okay, proposed working days, 110. Proposed starting date, January 8th, 2024 or sooner. Total amount, $492,814.
No 83 cents.
From L&M Contractors. Good talk with that. The working days, 110, proposed start date, January 8th, 24. Bid total, $492,814.
Okay, this is from Ebert Construction out of Wamego. There is a bid bond attached. So, working days 110. Proposed starting March 15th, 24. Total amount of $463,071.85.
The Weaver Construction, Wamego. On attached. Working days, 110, start date, March 15th, 24. Total bid, $463,071.85.
This one is from Reese Construction Company out of Salina. There's a bond document attached. Working days 90. Proposed starting date 11/27/23. And we have a total amount of $361,981.98.
Say that one more time.
$361,981.98.
That's it, Reese Construction. On patched. Working days 90. Proposed start date 11/27/23. Total bid price $361,981.98.
Okay.
No engineer's estimate, guys.
No.
No engineers estimate.
Huh?
I didn't bring it.
That's okay.
On thing.
Okay, Kathy, you can just get it to us.
Yes.
Thanks.
Okay, good. That's that. I'll go ahead and make a motion that we return the bids to staff for further analysis recommendation.
Second.
So moved, excuse me, moved and seconded that we return the bids to staff for further consideration. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
This
Good luck.
This is the one that was kind of held up on the historical thing for a while.
I was courtesy of Banco Atchison too, by here.
Oh, I need to get one of those. I think we need to. take
How
this
long do we need? Just the regular 10 minutes?
I think 10.
Okay.
So where are we?
Executive session,
Oh.
Shelley.
Okay. So 9:37.
Yeah, it works for me.
Boone County Commission,
Yeah, you're
including
absolutely right.
Chairwoman Foki, Vice Chairman of the Board, and Commissioner McKinley recessed to executive session on pending litigation for the purpose of consultation with Shelley Woodard, Deputy County Council Attorney for the Commission, which would be deemed privileged in the attorney-client relationship, an exception to the Kansas Open Meetings Act, and the open meetings to resume at the Mountain Commission Chamber at 9:37 a.m.
I'll second.
It's been moved and seconded to recess into executive session until 9:37 a.m. All
Oh,
in favor?
okay, thank you. Sure.
Aye.
That's for the Time for Shiloh.
Morning, Commissioners.
Morning.
And you're gonna have to go down quite a ways there. So-
Yeah,
Can I,
it's down to page 54.
Good job.
all right. Once again, good morning, Commissioners. Shiloh Hager, Riley County Treasurer with the September revenue information. End of the third quarter. Cannot believe that. The end of September, we ended the month with a balance in the general fund of 24,429,503.94. Just right about $92,000 higher than where we were at this point in time last year. Our total fund balance as of the end of September is 74,743,749.63. We have just over 13 million remaining in the ARPA funds. Just over 11 million in investments right now. And in our holding fund, our tax holding fund is just over $2 million. We will be doing the last tax distribution on October 31st, which will wrap up the end of the 2022 tax year.
Dress it up in a costume,
Pardon?
put it in a costume.
Oh, we're already ready.
Okay.
So the investment income at the end of September, $2,118,474.44. The amount on the active checking account was 5.49%. And we did get 2 CD bids in the month of September for 5.52% for 1 year. The amount of interest that is earned to date, year to date in the ARPA fund is $512,324.76. This net interest, we will be making one more distribution to these various departments. They do get part of the interest, so that will be reflected on the October numbers. Our general fund revenue for the month of September was $2,325,459.17. It's just a little bit lower than what we had projected through before the month of September. We did do a distribution in September, and right now you can see we're a little behind on motor vehicle taxes. We're also a little bit behind on our ad valorem taxes. So I did run an abstract to kind of see where we were compared to last year. Last year, as of the end of August, we had an outstanding tax collection of 1.31%. As of August 31st of 23, we were at 1.76%. So we are just a little bit behind on what we collected in total taxes for from this year to last year in ad valorem taxes. Like I said, we still have one more distribution to go at the end of October. And you can see here, year to date, we have collected 102.52% of the total budgeted revenues for 2023. Sales tax, the county's portion of the sales tax that we received in September was $360,378.87. $167,263.67 was the general sales tax, and $193,115.20 was the road and bridge sales tax amount. Right now, we are at 98.33% of total sales tax collected, which is 23% over what was budgeted through September.
That's reflected back to June.
This is July sales. So yes, it is down quite a bit from last year, just
Last
if you could just even look here at the,
But last year, I think you said at the time, because September was way high and October was way low. I wondered if something messed up.
I think that is true, because I think there was some problems with the reporting last year, and so,
I saw that difference. I thought, oh, but.
yeah,
I
you
thought
are,
last
you are
year-
right, I do remember that.
You said it looked like something got messed up.
Yes,
It got reported
yeah.
in the wrong month.
So I don't think it's reflective of what's happening in the market or anything. I do remember that, and I'll have to go back and research that and see
Okay,
what.
but it's
what that
way
was.
off. Those 2 months are way off everything else for that year. It
Mhm.
looks like. They messed up.
Glad you remember that, because I don't.
And so our year to date, of our total sales tax that we've collected here in Riley County, year to date for the general fund sales tax is just at 0.9% over what it was last year. And you can see the various, how those taxes are distributed, in the various entities. And finally, this just shows how our total sales tax was broken out between the cities and what Riley County retains. Any questions about any of that? Like I said, the month of October is kind of a month where we kind of wrap things up. We're gearing up for the 2023 taxes to come out. So that once again, will be here before we know it, November 1st. And so we're getting ready for that, for all of that to happen. Wrapping up, September is always a big month for motor vehicle. September and October and November are, kind of wrap up the end of motor vehicle, and we'll be ready for year end.
Okay.
Hopefully I did that quick enough and get you back on track a little bit.
Right, I don't know.
Any more questions?
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you. Have a great day.
Darren?
All right, well, if we're right back on time, I'll do my part to stay on time. So, Chairwoman Foki, Commissioners, thanks for having us this morning. Darren Solden, Director of Economic Development, Manhattan Area Chamber of Commerce. I brought on a couple folks that are going to do the majority of the presentation this morning, but as promised last month, we brought on a new person to lead our talent strategies initiative. So this includes a Made for Manhattan program, the summer intern program, dual career for spouses, partners, family members, folks that are looking at jobs within the region, Manhattan, Riley, Potawatomi counties, that we're working with HR professionals in the area on, as well as a number of other things in addition to managing our professionals program HYPE. So that person is Allison Booth. Allison's joining us this morning, so I'll let her introduce herself, talk a little bit about her activities and what she's been doing, and then Christian will give an update on AUSA. And thanks to Commissioner Ford for attending that this last week as well. So Allison.
Good morning. Like Darren said, my name is Allison Booth. It's nice to be here. It's a pleasure to speak with you guys this morning. I am the new Talent Strategies Manager here for the Manhattan Area Chamber of Commerce. It's been a very busy last couple of weeks since I started my position here. It's a career season, so I've been at several career fairs in the last couple of weeks. Washburn University Career Fair, Washburn Institute of Technology, Health Career Fair, and then the Kansas State University Career Fair, all 3 days for agriculture, business, and engineering. I've also attended several different conferences, the Workforce Innovation Conference, and the primary goal of that conference was to attend a series of presentations, workshops, and roundtables to enhance and improve workforce solutions in Kansas. Our team also attended the Kansas Economic Development Alliance in Topeka to learn about statewide marketing campaigns, new Kansas programs, housing resources, talent attraction activities, and project development resources. As Darren mentioned, our dual career program is in effect, and we've recently started our Classroom 2 career program that kicked off in September, which is allowing fourth grade classes across Riley and Potawatomi County to participate in a program allowing those from USD 383, USD 320, and USD 323 to learn about classroom initiatives and talent within our area. So those are a few of the main things that we are working on. As I continue in my role, I look to increase awareness and growth in our HYPE program, our young professionals in the area, network and talk to human resource professionals in the area, understand their challenges they might be facing, and create resource materials and recruitment materials to help them through those roadblocks, and then grow existing pilot programs that I mentioned earlier. So that's just a brief update. Glad to be here. Glad to serve you guys. Thank you. We'll go ahead and introduce Christian, our military relations manager, to give an update.
Thank you.
Good morning. Thank you again, John, for Commissioner Ford for attending NUSA. So it'll probably be a repeat for him of some things that but for NUSA, we actually took 40 Fort Riley representatives, which comprised of 11 delegates from Manhattan-Riley County, 11 from Junction City and Gary. What was most interesting and exciting was we brought 6 of the Estonian Army and 12 soldiers from 1ID. So that was actually the highest attendance of Fort Riley military leadership that has actually came to AUSA, which was great because we were able to not only talk with the Estonian Army about some of their challenges and how they're working out through here, but also, just have that time with the command team for them to kind of brainstorm some upcoming things and just kind of what the future of the Army looks like. So just really quick, while we were there, we attended the opening ceremony by the Secretary of the Army. She did present the shortcomings that they did miss recruitment by 10,000 soldiers. But with that missing recruitment, I don't know if everybody has read a Next Gen book or everything, but the Army's really going to start changing their recruiting efforts and aligning their recruiting efforts more along civilians and how civilians attract talent. And also targeting those 21 to 26-year-olds that, just are still trying to figure out what they want to do. And I'm sure their parents want them to move out of their house. She did, talk about some really great innovation. As we know, manpower will continue to be a struggle with them. But it was great to kind of see some different innovations using AI and maybe a little less manpower in the tanks. So, that kind of perks the eyes of younger kids because, we think of it as video games, but, to them, it's their life. Major General John Meyer was our guest speaker for our chapter lunch, who gave a Fort Riley update. And then, as you know, as we got there, the attacks over in Israel. So it was a little somber because, you have half the force not knowing if they needed to leave to go ship out. But on the other hand, the House of Representatives were also, they were back early to meet and debate on who they were going to choose for their Speaker of the House.
Which is also somber.
Which is also somber. And so that just presents, as their talks of how they're going to move forward, and what they were going to do during, if they do go into a budget shutdown. We did visit with Steve Hajek, which, he did give a political update on the economy, Ukraine, and kind of the fiscal budget. As you can see, that was a common theme, was the fiscal 24 budget and how the bills have not been passed. And then the last thing, we were able to meet with our delegation federal staffers. So from Senator Moran's office, Marshall's office, Congressman Moran's office, and then LaTurner's office was over there. So usually we have a consolidated with Junction City, but we actually think that it worked out that we had our own time because we had the focus of those staffers. And so, you know, we had topics that we wanted to go in together as far as the railhead, updating barracks and infrastructure. But we were able to kind of focus on some things that were important to Manhattan and Riley County. And then last, we ended it with over 60 180 alumni attending our social, which is also great to see commanders leave and get to come back, but also the continued story of they really don't know how much they miss Fort Riley until they are not at Fort Riley anymore. And they said it is a testament of the community and how much the community surrounds them, because oftentimes they do go to other installations and they don't get the love from that. With that, I need any questions.
How many times did the secretary mention Fort Riley in the speech?
In her opening speech, Fort Riley got 2 name drops and we got on her video screen. So we were very excited about how, you know, she saw some great things out here, and I'm sure she's going to be back. So
Members of the chapter got to take pictures with her later, and the new chief of staff.
she was out of the Army.
Yeah.
So
Yes.
that's a good trip. So
Yeah.
thank you again.
Thank you.
One last thing real quick, just want to highlight that work is continuing on the entrepreneurship front. We've got a couple of different locally controlled loan programs that we'll be launching here by the beginning of November. So next month when we come update, we'll bring along that information for you, and that'll kind of be the focus of the talk. But that includes the Elevate Fund, which is a Manhattan specific fund. There's some city money in that, and that's the reason for the geographic constraint on that. But then also working with Network Kansas to launch a program of theirs called the Empower Fund, which they're currently doing in Wyandotte County, Lawrence, Topeka, Wichita, and then out in the Dodge City, Garden City area. Manhattan and Lawrence are the 2 new Manhattan area, Riley, Geary, Pottawatomie County, and then Lawrence are the 2 new programs in that, and that is small business funding for minority businesses. So $100,000 a year that can go towards small business loans for minority-owned businesses, and then the Elevate funds $250,000 a year to be loaned out to small businesses. So revolving loan funds, that money will go back into those pots and then be loaned out again. So excited about the opportunity that's going to create alongside some of the existing programs like the Network Kansas City Community Loan Fund, the State Department of Commerce's Grow KS loan program for small businesses, which is being administered through Network Kansas. Those are all programs that have actively had businesses borrowing funds for within Riley County. So hope to really ramp that up, create a lot more awareness amongst both the business community, our lending community, but we'll bring you all more information on that next month. Okay. So any other questions? All right, appreciate it. Have a good day. Thanks for joining us.
Ready to get back to business, commissioners?
Yeah. I'm sure the bathroom's right.
Oh, okay, go ahead. You gonna get your ring, Greg?
Yeah, you can get there. What day was that? That Tuesday. It's really good.
Yeah, that odd storm came through.
Yeah, a couple times. Oh, when I came in, it must have been whatever night that was, Tuesday night. Yeah.
Yeah, it was Tuesday night.
Driving in, there's just almost sprinkling, just a few drops, and then on the way home, but again, it's just few. I came home and on the sidewalk, there were, I mean, it was huge drops. I mean, it's water spots this big, not very many, but just a few giant.
It was enough to get my concrete wet. But yeah.
I just just a few.
Great big drops.
Yeah.
That's always cool when those great big drops are.
Yeah,
Morning, Julie.
but it
Morning.
felt like it should rain. I mean,
Mhm. Yeah,
felt like it needed to, but
it definitely needs to. Watch the game tonight. You stay up for the whole thing?
oh, yeah.
Yeah, we'll see.
First time I had to watch an NFL game at 35,000 feet. That was kind of cool. Even screamed a couple of times. Touchdown. Nice. Should have did a commercial, like an NFL commercial. That'd be great.
I was happy with the Pittsburgh Steelers pulling it out.
Mhm.
They're one of my favorite teams.
Was that the one that went down the very end?
Yeah.
Well, a couple of teams, Baltimore, yeah, but
Yeah, Baltimore.
they scored, they had field goals and a safety and
It was just a crazy
they
game.
had 14 points, but it was a whole bunch of weird stuff.
Weird
Instead of
stuff,
just,
yeah.
Not two touchdowns.
yes, it looked
No.
like it, that, but.
Hmm. I think there were two safeties, I think, in that game.
Oh, really? That's
I think.
At
unusual.
one point, Santa Jacksonville score was 11-7 for like the longest of time.
That's an odd score.
Yeah, no.
I have a question though for you guys. Who do you think had the most ugly uniform of the Big 12 this weekend?
I'm not a real big fan of KU's.
No, I said this was worse. Baylor's. Did you see Baylor's? They look like
I don't know.
they look like highlighter.
I'm going to give the nod to Iowa State because they have these peach bottoms that look like they weren't wearing bottoms. Yeah. They were peach colored, and if you would look off-site and you didn't have HD, it looked like they
Like
weren't wearing
skin color?
Yeah.
Oh, well, that could be worse.
Yeah.
But these guys look like either yellow cabs or
Well, I remember some of the basketball uniforms were that way. It's like they're wearing highlighters.
Yeah, it's highlighters. Yeah.
That's an Adidas thing. I don't get it.
Yeah, they even had yellow shoes or.
Oh,
here's my question.
Socks. It was
Anybody
just-
surprised about KU's probation
No, I didn't.
or lack thereof?
They didn't get,
They didn't get.
they didn't even get a hand slap. They just said, no. And that's,
Yes. Don't do that again now, but bad Jayhawk.
well, NIL, it's on legal now.
Anyway, on that note, we better keep going.
Yeah, I guess so.
So I make a motion that we recess as the Board of County Commission and reconvene as the Board of County Health.
Second,
So moved and seconded that we recess as the Board of County Commission and reconvene as Board of County Health. All in favor? Aye.
I was gonna start off by saying bravo,
Okay, I was gonna ask if you like this better.
moving to the OpenGov graphics there.
Oh, is
Yeah,
that what that is?
good.
Like that a lot.
Good deal.
Yeah.
We'll keep that going.
Okay.
Yeah, Shelley touched base with Shiloh and got this done.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think it's a lot better than the spreadsheet.
Yeah.
So it's a lot easier on the eyes.
Yeah, it's good.
So yeah, that's what we'll start with expenses, and then you've got the revenues there as well. So continue to report it that way. So, and Shiloh did come to our leadership meeting a few weeks ago and gave a demonstration of
Yeah.
OpenGov. So it's interesting.
Is there a way we could take, like the packet, the page number down there obliterates the bottom line numbers? Is there any way we can move that around a bit?
I can check on that. I can check.
Actually,
It won't show the variance.
Go full screen and see if it does anything there, Julie. Okay, it doesn't.
No,
I didn't think it would, but it was worth a try.
Yeah.
yeah, if we could work that, it'd be great. I was going, okay, what is it?
I printed it
Yeah,
off
I
and it
tried.
doesn't show up when you print, so.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that's interesting.
We'll check on that.
Okay,
It might be a system thing, but we'll check.
yeah, it could just move down a bit or everything move up a bit.
Looks like with whatever was going on yesterday, maybe it's time to start thinking about something different than minute tracks, maybe too.
No, we got enough new stuff on. No. No new stuff.
I'm just saying, maybe it's time not to use it at all. It was my point.
All right, I'll go into the program updates. Oh, sorry.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay. Maternal and child health program held their Becoming a Mom classes on Thursdays in the month of September with a total of 66 class participants. Additionally, they held their first yoga class as part of their perinatal community collaborative health equity opportunity project on September 20th. They had 18 participants, so far more than what they thought they would get. So that's good. This was not including the 5 infants and 1 toddler who attended their free childcare. As part of that grant, NCH is offering these weekly yoga classes taught by a certified trauma-informed yoga instructor at no cost to the community with free childcare. And this is to educate, support, and improve physical, mental, and overall well-being for perinatal clients in the community. Additionally, yoga participants are encouraged to communicate, RSVP for classes, and connect with one another outside of class via the GroupMe app. The MCH program plans to apply for the GMCF, the Greater Manhattan Community Foundation funding again in December to host the 3rd annual community baby shower, which will take place this next summer. Tentatively, June 8th is the date they've chosen. The first planning meeting was held last week. More details to come as the planning progresses. They did have a BAM site visit, Becoming a Mom site visit with KDHE last week, and overall it was a very good site visit. So we'll update you more on the results from that when we get those in November. Clinic has been busy, but not quite as busy as they were last month. They had 329 total immunizations, over 187 patients, 141 family planning visits for a total of 407 appointments in September. They are busy with their vaccination clinics. They went out to Farm Bureau, which was the first time that we've done Farm Bureau employees. So very successful. I think Jacob said around 30 or so employees that they vaccinated. They have vaccinated USD 384 and 378 so far. City of Manhattan employees, they had a few clinics for them, as well as Riley County employees. And we have Oktoberfest happening today from 3 to 6 at the Family and Child Resource Center. As far as childcare licensing, they've also been very busy. They're currently investigating 7 complaints and working on 5 initials. Julia is back from maternity leave, so she is busy surveying. She got right back into it. Heather participated in the Child Care Systems Improvement Team, where the proposed new regulations were reviewed, and those are yet to be distributed, but soon they will come out. And those regulations haven't been touched since the 90s, so it's high time that they review those.
Probably need to give you a heads up on this one. Childcare licensure came up in our conversation Tuesday on Capitol Hill.
Okay,
Don't be surprised if somebody reaches out.
okay.
Just giving you a heads up.
Okay, thank you. Heather also met with the Customized Early Education Group, which is a new program offering substitutes for childcare facilities. And this is the visit chart for the month of September. During that month, the surveyors conducted a total of 28 visits, mostly in Riley County. And this is an update as of now, the current facility report. As of now, we are down providers in most counties again, except for Dickinson and Potawatomi County. So this is a decrease of 4 providers in the region. So far, we've seen a decrease of a total of 12 providers in the last 3 months. So Heather's looked into this at the numbers a little bit more. We're seeing a lot of retirement with just aging providers. But we've also seen a little bit of new providers open up their daycare and then closing it within a year, maybe because they're not getting the return that they thought they would get. So
I just realized I got all the counties right when we were discussing it too. And that was on the list.
yeah. Yeah.
Give me from you.
Yes. Fine, they're hard to remember.
I knew it was 5 and I couldn't, like, Dickinson County was the one I was struggling with.
Yeah.
God.
No. Yeah, so we'll continue to monitor that as well. I'll give a short update on Raising Riley, but Jan is going to be here a little bit later to give you more detailed information on Raising Riley. So I'll just give you a short update for now. They did start a new cycle of Circle of Security parenting classes. They currently have 5 parents participating with 4 children utilizing free childcare. They hosted their monthly book club on September 16th. They did have 4 parents participate, so 3 families were impacted and 4 children utilized their free daycare.
And they hosted a play and learn event on September 14th. It was a come and go event with full registration. They had 12 adults and 12 children participating, so 10 families were impacted. And then as far as provider education and support, on September 11th, they held an environments training for providers. They had 23 participants, so a good group there. September 28th, they held one of their support groups. They only had 3 providers attend that, but that is a monthly support group. And then on September 30th, they held an emergency preparedness for providers. And I didn't get the numbers on that as far as how many attended. They also developed a newsletter for parents, and that's very well received. So they have things like how to help your child if they're a picky eater, parenting styles, budgeting, child temperaments, things like that are featured in that newsletter. WIC has been very busy as usual. They are at 116% of their assigned caseload. So the state office gives them a target caseload number, and they're required to meet 98% of that. So they far exceeded that. We are, according to the Kansas Breastfeeding Coalition, we upgraded the Health Department Breastfeeding Employee Support Award from silver to gold. This is because we're meeting more of those requirements. So this is one of the steps in becoming a breastfeeding friendly local health department, which we hope to apply for in the next few months. They're still giving out free prenatal vitamins, so that's very successful. And this is a picture of Kaylin and Becca, one of our dietitians. They attended the National WIC Association Conference in Portland. And overall, it's a very successful conference, so they'll be reporting out to that at the next leadership meeting.
And thanks for having her come in and give us that quick update.
Yeah. Maybe that was much needed with all the excitement of that.
You have no idea.
Yeah. And then as far as intern updates, as you know, we host a lot of interns. We've had a great relationship with the Master of Public Health program. And since they started the undergrad program, we've met with Christina, the director of that. And now we have a good relationship with them, and hopefully that will continue moving forward. We actually have a speaking engagement with that group on October 26th. So we're currently hosting 4 interns. This includes 2 student therapists in our MCH program, 1 in the clinic, and then 1 social work intern in our MCH program. As far as grant updates, the MRC Medical Reserve Corps coordinator part-time position is posted. We haven't received any applicants for that. So Skylar's going to be working with Vivian to try to boost that a little bit and maybe provide more information on social media as to what that is. It could be just a lack of education as to what MRC is. However, the DEC coordinator, that's the Drug Endangered Children coordinator, that's another part-time position. That's been posted for a couple of weeks. We've had 26 applicants so far. We've narrowed it down to 5 that we would like to interview. And so we scheduled those interviews for next week. So hopefully more good news to come from that. And then upcoming events, as you know, today is our annual flu vaccine clinic. So we'll offer flu and COVID vaccines from 3 to 6 at the Family and Child Resource Center. Free pumpkins for kids with every shot.
Free pumpkins.
Yeah.
It's for kids.
I know.
I know. I think you're a kid.
Yeah. We have some leftover.
Okay.
So did you get the updated COVID in?
Yeah.
With that?
Yeah,
Okay,
we
so
got it
that's
last
available.
Yeah, we're ready to go with that. So we'll have activities and snacks available, hopefully outside if the weather is okay. It's pretty windy out there, but we'll have it regardless. We can move things inside. We have a big enough space. We are partnering with A&H Farms again this year to offer a mini farmers market. So every family that attends will get a $10 voucher for fresh produce. We'll also have several programs attending the Bee Witching in West Loop on Halloween. So that's an event I think they have annually, so we'll be attending that. And then I mentioned this last time, but this will be the first time that we offer CPR and first aid course for Riley County employees in November. And hopefully we'll make that an ongoing thing, maybe quarterly. We'll see how it turns out this first time, but we could offer it more next year. So that's it. Any questions? All right.
Thank you, Julie.
You're welcome.
While we're waiting, do we want to?
Got a motion?
Yeah. come back in when she gets here. Okay, so I'll move that we recess as the Board of County Commission, recess as the Board of County Health, and reconvene as the Board of County Commission. We'll come back when she gets here.
I'll second.
Okay.
It's been moved and seconded to recess as the Board of County Health and reconvene as Board of County Commissioners. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Of course, here she is.
Let's finish. Go back.
Finish business?
Yeah, that work? Yeah. Okay.
Sounds good. Commissioners need all of you to sign Valley County Personnel Action Forms. Nancy Norp, new hire, as needed election board worker. Tiku Nagia Velasquez, as needed election board worker. Sharon Pullman, new hire, as needed election worker. John, how do you pronounce this one?
They're not mine. They're not underneath me.
I'm passing on that pronunciation unless someone can help me out. Election worker, Scott Mulder, new hire, as needed election board worker, and Deanne Brout, as needed election worker. Yeah, I'm not even attempting that one, John. There it
The
is.
good news is that you've got election workers, so that's the good news.
Yeah, two of those are previous employees.
Yes, Deanne and,
Scout, she was a temp for us.
oh, that's right.
That's right. She got a position over at courts, district court,
Oh, good for her.
Yeah.
Good for her.
Sharpie and Heidi. It fit because she's going into law, so that's why it fit for her to go over there for experience. Any items for intergovernmental luncheon commissioners?
No, but I will attend if we have it.
Okay.
I'll attend, no lunch, so
Yeah, I'll do lunch.
unless they have something good.
Greg lunch.
Yes.
Had a busy morning, so we're trying to get the rest of this.
That's good. Fine, fine, I was.
Is this the one you couldn't pronounce? Camaranga?
Mhm.
Canadigi, Samoyi.
Mhm.
Okay,
Were you able to pronounce it?
no. Well, I did, but it's probably not correct. So,
Get a motion on the minutes, commissioners.
Yeah, did we have any changes? Okay.
I didn't have any.
Last Thursday, so I'm good with it. We'll go ahead and make a motion that we approve the minutes as written from the October 5th meeting of the Riley County Commission.
Second.
So moved and seconded that we approve the minutes from October, what was it?
Yes,
Fifth.
exactly.
Meeting, all in favor?
Uh,
Aye.
Then agenda look okay?
Yes, remember, I won't be here in person next Thursday. I'll probably be traveling on the road to Kansas City.
Okay. Any items for next week's press conference?
Nothing.
Okay, ready for Jan?
I am, but we need to make a motion again.
Yeah.
So I'll move that we recess as the Board of County Commission and then reconvene as the Board of County Health.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded that we recess as a Board of County Commissioners and reconvene as Board of County Health. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Thanks for your patience.
Hi, I'm Jan Scheideman. I'm the supervisor for the Raising Riley program at the Riley County Health Department. Presented last year, you kind of remember a little bit about it, and I won't go into all that detail anymore. So I just kind of wanted to go through our yearly evaluation report that we get from the Children's Cabinet and Trust Fund, who is our funder. Let you see that we are doing wonderful work. Every single family that we serve has at least one of the risk factors that are outlined by the our grantee. In fact, the majority of our families have at least 3 risk factors. So we feel like we're getting out in the community and really finding the people that need us the most. This past year, we served 268 children. 4% of those were foster care or out of home care. 6% didn't have any health insurance. 19% spoke a language, their first language was something other than English. And 61% of the children we served had a risk for a developmental delay or had an established IFSP or IE, which are special needs kiddos. We had 248 families. with those kiddos. 7% of those had less than a high school education. 30% had a high school diploma or GED. We had a high number of families that did have at least technical degrees and then bachelor's degrees or higher. And they find that children that whose parents do have a higher level of education tend to do better in school as they progress along too. So that's a plus. 61% of our families were unmarried, 9% were teen parents. We had probably one migrant family, 7% without stable housing, 91% were free and reduced price lunches, which is our guideline for income. And then the 25% that didn't have English as their primary language. And if you compare the numbers that we serve with the county overall, where Riley County has a 37% free and reduced price lunch population, we serve 91%. So again, we feel like we're really getting out there and finding the kiddos that really need our help. And we also served a higher number
Something
of
different from
teen
Eric on
parents.
that.
Pardon?
I thought Eric Reed gave us some different numbers on that.
On the free and reduced lunch.
And it's actually something like 43%.
I wouldn't be surprised. I've always, when I do demographics for our
Yeah.
grants, the numbers that I find are always higher than what
Okay,
I see in other places. So
yeah, okay.
I would go with.
Maybe they're using some different metrics or something to track too.
Yeah, I
So,
don't know, but I would.
but when the last
I would go
Good
with
Morning
Dr.
Manhattan, I thought said it was something like,
I was
I can't
surprised.
remember.
I was surprised how high it was.
yeah, I thought he said it was something like 43%. And it was,
Yeah,
yeah,
Yeah.
I can't remember off the top of my head, but yeah,
surprised.
I remember I was surprised. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
It is.
Sorry.
It is. Very, you don't recognize that in our community.
Mm.
We do have a higher percentage of teen parents than the county overall. And then in class observations, this is the observation that we're required to do on any provider, classroom, family child care provider, home provider, that works with us. And it's a measure of their quality. And it's really kind of based a lot on the social emotional connections between the provider and the children. But it also looks at, the environment and the materials and that and those kind of things, instructional support and that kind of stuff too. But the childcare providers that contract with us provide tuition assistance. They work very hard to meet these standards, and we're really proud of them and their eagerness to learn and grow. And they do attend trainings with us. So, we offer them monthly, and they come to a lot of them come to all our trainings. But the really cool thing is that every single provider that works with us passed the level of quality that is required by the early childhood block grant. We did have a few that didn't pass the first time in the fall, but when we go back out to assess them in the spring, they passed with flying colors. So we have a very high level of quality providers in our programs. And these are just some results of assessments that we do. The percentage of children, this is ages and stages questionnaires that we do. It's a parent report on how their children are doing. It's about 25 to 30 questions that are asked. State's trying to get this done statewide for every child. I'm trying to get doctors to do it and things like that. So it's a really quality level of just by reporting of how the children are doing. And the percent of children at risk on either the ASQ or the ASQ2 was high compared to ECBG statewide. We were 11% above the state, and the percentage at risk on both was similar to the statewide average. So we start out with a high number of kiddos that
that are at risk. And by the end of the year, they're doing a whole lot better. So, this next one is called the ECI. It's the Early Communication Indicator. And this is the assessment that we do that's just language based and communication on 6-month-olds to 3-year-olds. The first time we did it, we had 70% of the children that we did were at risk. And we did it in the winter. It had gotten 40% were at risk, and we had 40% that were proficient. And by the end of the year, 70% of the children were proficient in their early communication skills. This is it's called the My Gigties Literacy. I have no idea what My Gigties stands for. I do this. Individual growth and development indicators. Anyway, this is literacy and the changeover time for 3 to 5-year-olds. And this chart is comparing us to the statewide and the at-risk benchmark. And our average on the sound identification subtest was above the ECBG statewide benchmark average at the beginning of the year, and at the end of the year, they improved in both. And we also made considerable gains in which one doesn't belong. These are just little subsets that they ask the questions about. And then in phonological awareness, rhyming is always a struggle with the kids around here. I don't know why, but we start off the year low, and then progress up. So we went from 43 to 50% of the children. Sound ID, we made big gains from 49 to 51%. In alliteration, not as big a gains, but we stayed in the running there. So we improve on all those tests. In fact, in phonological awareness, we're on track. The percent on track was well above the ECBG statewide level, and we were the second highest in the state in the spring. And we were told that the first highest didn't have near as many at-risk children in their program as we did. So. And then this is numeracy, just for counting and on comparison, one-to-one correspondence and number naming. These represent the average change over time by each student for Raising Riley, and the scores to the other grantees is overall. The children we serve showed consistent progress with spring gains scoring above the statewide average for ECBG students in all the subtests. And if you combine all the subtests, our scores were above the state average in all the numeracy tests put together. And the research shows that the pre-numeracy skills at kindergarten entry were a better predictor of academic achievement than literacy, attentional skills, or social behavior. So I feel like we're sending our kids off on good notes. The summary of everything I just kind of went through with you guys. So there it is in a nutshell. If you want to read it. And then I just have one other brief little thing I wanted to share with you. And I just got it on my phone. We had a family engagement event last night at AMH Farms, and we had over 100 families show up. Really? Oh, wow. She just sent it to me as I walked in the door because I asked her for the numbers. 56 children, 44 adults,
A third of them were Raising Riley families. The other families, we open our family engagement events to the community. And the other families that were coming out were very interested in being part of the activities that we do for children. In our family engagement, we also have book clubs for parents, and we have parent education programs and things like that. These are Riley County families, and so A&H donated the participation last night. So that was an in-kind gift that they gave to Raising Riley and the families in the community because they want to pay back.
And what all did you do? What kind of activities?
They have this really cool pumpkin patch out there. They have big swings. They have huge slipper slides. They have a petting zoo with little baby pigs, crazy baby pigs, goats, sheep, some baby cows, can't think of the name of them.
Calves.
Yeah, there you go. And they have all kinds of yard games, big checker games, and all kinds of things, balls and things you can climb on.
Spend hours out there.
Yeah, so it's a lot of fun. And so that's just, she wrote a whole long paragraph, but I'm not going to read everything. But basically, it was just a really fun time for families in the community. It's a good way for us to get the word out about Raising Riley because people that didn't know about it already. And it was a wonderful thing for A&H Farms to do for us. Good. So, do you have any questions? I went fast, I know.
It was great.
Good.
Good
Jan,
report. Thank you.
Julie, thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Motion, sir.
Yep. Move that we recess as the Board of County Health and then reconvene as the Board of County Commission.
Second.
So moved and seconded to recess as the Board of County Health and reconvene as the Board of County Commissioners. All in favor? Aye.
Okay, before I go, commissioners, because I guess Secretary Schwab's gonna get here early. Can I get scores?
You need to ask him for a score too while he's
Okay.
I
available.
don't have a score.
Last time I said so.
What do you got for score?
What's the spread before you?
It's 1.5 in favor of Tech.
Yeah.
It seems about right.
We're having this struggle.
I'm lost on this one.
Yeah.
So it's Lubbock's always tough. Road games in the Big 12 are just always tough. So I'm just gonna go K-State 24-23. I didn't give it much thought because I didn't have time. We're just gonna.
Yeah.
That's what I had 28.
Brittany, any of the 28, 24 K-State?
Yeah.
Catherine?
Let's get with you in your
Oh, of
office.
course. Let me see. 30-24. K-State.
Clancy?
26-20. It's the
24-31 Tech.
You went Oklahoma State, didn't you?
No.
No,
Nobody
did.
did.
You see.
Nobody won that last.
Oh, you picked UCF. That's how.
Yep.
I don't have a lot of time.
Still think-
No.
This is
It's really bad.
Oh, we lost two more defensive starters last game.
And we lost another defensive lineman on the 2 deep.
but big game for the rest of the season. If they don't get it turned around here,
Yeah.
they're in trouble.
Yeah. Sounds good. You guys have a good weekend. We'll see you.
Okay.
See you. Good luck.
So it's like,
I was gonna say the same thing in return.
yeah. Good time.
You ready for me, commissioners?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good morning, commissioners. Brittany Phillips, Budget and Finance Officer. I'm going to present our monthly cash flows. So we will start with economic development. Nothing significantly has changed in here. So we have brought in $282,275 in revenue and had a total expenditures of $123,829.81. Bringing our unencumbered cash to $204,461.66. Our Riley County building cash flows, we spent $20,310.96. I'm sorry, we brought in $20,310.96 in revenue for September, bringing our total revenue to $281,263.17. And we spent $10,178.06, bringing our total expenditures to $300,678.93. Bringing our unencumbered cash to $206,680.24. We are a little over that budget expended, so I just wanted to point that out to you. Not much, but just a little. CIP cash flows. We brought in $216,868.67 in revenue, bringing our total revenue to $7,251,155.21. We also spent $122,421.71, bringing our total expenditures to $2,139,551.33. And our unencumbered cash balance is $14,143,897.09. Our FFE monies have not changed. So we have $2,380,572.05 that we have received. We have $282,260 in approved projects, and you still have $1,171,841.76 available. Half-cent sales tax. Again, this has not changed. Revenue we have brought in for the year $405,760.65. We had an encumbrance that we did pay $158.75 on, bring our total expenditures to $14,589.62, and our total unencumbered cash at $6,944,455.94. And point two, sales tax, we brought in $193,115.20 in revenue, and we have no expenditures to date, bringing our total unencumbered cash to $1,463,789.63. Any questions, commissioners?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Oh, I thought that was an animal outside. Yes.
The motion. Made up, now this is. He's gonna hear, if he doesn't, I may be scratching that out, but I'll give you back. It shows the right thing. This is also the second executive session from today.
Okay.
There was one we did this morning, separate motion, different ground.
Okay, thank you.
And Rich has that.
Yes.
You know, great, open house. Ribbon cutting, can we get in there before and kind of look things over before the thing?
I would think so. Like, they're gonna be,
What time they get there?
and highways being repaved. And they're in Leadville yesterday, that's what's coming. So I don't know, they're gonna be through, because they started on 77 coming up from Junction City. I think the big way, we're up to the city of Valley. Finished that last week. Now this week we started on 24 at Clay County line, and they're coming through Leadville and down again.
I'll be right where the ambulance is, I swear.
I said, man, I hope they don't work on Saturday, and Wagon left it. They did work on one Saturday.
Hmm.
But I'm hoping it'll be through there, because it's one lane and they got traffic stop.
Hmm. Probably,
Car going through.
probably have a lot of people come up with
I
that.
hope so. That's what he was asking. Is there anything to be here? And I said, well, I hope we spent that. No, oh, you haven't talked to me last night.
Who was it?
Officer Wagon.
Oh,
He's one of the North County officers.
I've announced it everywhere I go,
Oh, I have too. Yeah.
so. We can get any more. I tried to get an agenda for the AAC off their website, and I couldn't get anything. Trying to get my dog sitter figured out, because I need to know ahead of time what's going on, where I'm going, and all that stuff, if she's available. We're some kids trying to figure out. I think the agenda would be fairly. You think so? That long. Yeah, it's not.
Last year, the same thing. They didn't get it out until like a week or two before. It seems
I
like
couldn't know a
I
general
think they
setting.
have the
I think that
plans, but
I know. Just need to know general times and programs.
Yeah.
When this starts and when's that, just general stuff. You'd think they'd at least have that figured out.
I'll email Kim and see if she can.
Yeah, it said for
Lisa-
information,
Lisa
go on the
Rudd.
website, and I went on there, nothing.
Should have been slider on this. Yeah. that's what we- Oh, what I'm gonna do.
Personally, I'd rather just,
Yeah.
I'd rather just go to each one of them and say thanks in person.
Yes.
So in the
I got the
county
same
comments
comments.
in October, they put a little blurb. Planning for the agenda is currently underway. The full agenda will be available by early November or sooner. And they do have a list of topics, breakout session topics during educational selections.
What I was more interested in is what are they going to have first session in the morning? What time does that start? Do I want to drive down in the morning or do I want to go down before? That kind of stuff. So
Okay, yeah, that they really don't have any.
They won't probably have that until probably November sometime. It's not,
Yeah, that's what I
it's
say.
2 months. Although they did announce the guy who's the Casey Wolf or whatever is gonna be the main speaker, who's the mascot for the Chiefs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
you're kidding.
I'm not kidding you.
That's the keynote.
Yeah, it shows them right here.
What?
Oh, is he going to wear those shoes? They're like this.
I don't know.
How about the hat?
Chiefs are
He
evening.
will join us as your lunch keynote speaker.
Lunch keynote speaker.
His
But Kansas is in the name.
courageous leadership, living a life of influence.
He's a motivational speaker.
That's
Yeah.
yeah, evidently as a sideline.
Yeah.
Which makes sense.
Apparently they
He
don't
just does
pay,
that
they don't
for
pay NFL mascots all that much.
Yeah.
So he does that just for fun.
Amazing. It's paid, but probably not a lot.
It's only been the last few years they actually pay cheerleaders all that much.
That's just a shame, for all the money they make. So,
Well, I will call her and see if she can at least
At least
tell
get
me
some
like
kind of-
start time and
like what they're doing in the beginning and.
If it's like it is any other the rest of the years, that first Tuesday,
Nothing going,
it's mostly leadership working on stuff that first day.
yeah,
And then the second day, it's early morning breakfast and it transitions into everything.
yeah.
And then it's a half a day that next day. Because in fact, I probably won't drive. I'll probably be driving in the evening of that 5th or whatever it is, because I've got another event that night myself.
Okay.
With the
because
professional engineer, so I'll be driving into Wichita that night after that.
currently we do have them the night of the 4th.
Yeah,
The hotel room. So if,
Which hotel is it?
it's,
Hyatt downtown.
yeah, the conference center.
What
Hyatt.
is it? Century Convention. Hyatt Century.
Oh, that's, I saw his name was down.
The tall one downtown there that you.
Marriott
always-
Regency and Century Convention Center.
I have a good friend down there. Let's get together with me for some time. So I don't know where that anyway. Yeah.
I'm surprised we were able to get rooms at the event. The location.
It's a struggle every year
Yeah,
when it.
usually they're
comes to-
gone by the time membership finds out about it.
Yeah,
No, really.
or they don't have, even though they say
Say
the group's
hotels
open
around.
and you call and they can't ever find it, or they say it's not open. It's, yeah.
It's just kind of weird that it got pushed all the way out to December.
Yeah. Before it was like October.
It's usually, mid-October.
October, yeah. It was the end of October.
I wonder if there was a push from counties and stuff because of all the stuff, elections and everything that happens.
Well, that's true this year.
And then you have county elections and stuff. So like,
Next
you know,
year, yeah.
new electees would have a chance to go before they're even elected. I mean, I don't know.
And next year's in December again too.
Yeah.
That's kind of tough.
Probably want to start thinking of, do you want to have a legislative conference
Yes.
with our delegation? And do you want it in person, online? I'm not saying you got to know right now, but next week, you probably need to let me
You
know.
see the letter Kenny wrote, letter to the editor, Titus had a letter to the editor.
Who did?
Kenny Titus,
Really?
Oh, yeah,
talking
no.
about how great Martin is.
Really?
Yeah. And it didn't surprise me. I was, but, you know, because Seaton had put some editorial about it, about whether it was effective or not. So, yeah. He had a pretty long talking about it. Which is different.
It's going to be effective probably to some extent for the next couple of years, but afterwards it won't be. Because you're just not going to be able to adhere to it. So one by one, all the counties that are doing it right now won't be able to continue to do it. So it is what it is, but.
There's my baby
Oh,
in front of my bushes.
oh, yeah, your ones are beautiful.
Yeah, I have like a curved thing in front of me. I planted it in spring and like, these are carryovers.
They're doing good.
Yeah, they do really good there. Everybody in the neighborhood loves them. So I'm the only one that does that.
Give me a hand here, so I do this now.
I think it's at the end.
Okay.
There's nothing after.
Yeah.
after
Nothing
that.
after that?
No, I don't think
No.
there is.
Okay. Cool. Well, we just mysterious.
Yeah, we didn't have, there wasn't anything in.
Mm-mm.
Yeah, I think so.
No.
Okay.
Ready?
Yeah.
Good morning, Commissioners. Clancy Holman, Riley County Councilor. As you're aware, taking the next step in pending appeal of the decision in the Lyon County District Court on the appeal that was taken by the board from the decision of the Kansas Historic Sites Review Board. And the next step will be a response of some kind from the other side of this dispute. And I'll keep you posted in terms of as things develop. Best not to discuss the details of what I'm telling you, because then those items ordinarily are foreclosed from this dissemination to the public, because it is ongoing litigation. Just so you're aware, but as this moves forward, if you have any questions, get something from me, get something from somebody else that you had questions about, and don't hesitate to contact me. Still getting caught up on email, quite frankly. Good luck. I know. I always plug in a few things by name and project. And so, okay, when something come in particular importance,
I'll send you a few more to help you along.
please do. Okay, please do. Here's one of them. As always.
I forwarded all of mine.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just forwarded everything.
Why not? It's not like I just stopped here. So I might as well, they can tell you that's a great idea. You will get an updated project list, as you would expect, next Monday, meeting at the regular time. And with that, I would just ask if you have questions about anything, I'd be glad to answer them. If not, that's all I have today.
Did you have a good vacation?
Yeah, I did. It was very good. It's a good group of people from the law school section that I was in 4 years ago. And just a good group of folks. Most of them are East Coasters, not all of them. So this was kind of their payback to having met with them 5 years ago in Topeka. Because they figured they'd already done their time as they do in Kansas. The next meeting that take place elsewhere. So it was a good enough experience. There were serious conversations about trying to do it again, maybe 3 to 5 years down the road in some other location. So that would probably happen.
Was the weather cooperating out there?
Not a bit. We flew into the tropical storm.
Okay.
Craig told me before, I think I might have told you this. I'm sorry if I did, but former Deputy County Councilor Craig Cox told me what he was watching the weather as it approached the day for us to leave and said, hey, don't worry, because there's the Outer Banks aren't under this hurricane watch or tropical storm watch. It's in Virginia. I said, well, Craig, that's where we're flying. So that was kind of interesting because I'm not a real fan of flying, but it's okay. I can do it and not get too nervous. But my wife still hasn't flown as often, so I was a little bit more concerned. So we had a little bit of a rough ride flying into it. And then flying from New Jersey into Norfolk, Virginia, there was an even rougher ride. And that was interesting because the cruising altitude was 16,000 feet. I've never flown that low on a commercial flight.
Wow.
So they were going underneath the weather, but it was a bumpy ride the whole way, but nothing where people were, as the captain announced before we took off, there isn't going to be any food service or even complimentary stuff. Everybody keep your seatbelts on because our general policy is we don't want you hitting your heads on the ceiling.
It's good policy.
And it wasn't that violent, but they got everybody's attention, probably reduced the amount of complaints about not getting a free Coke or something. So, but it was doable. It was mainly just kind of, a little bit up and down, but not bad. Not the kind that some people have been in. I hope I never get one of those. But overall, it was a great trip. Glad to be back, believe it or not, and glad to get things back underway. And I was glad to see that Shelley was able to sub on those meeting dates, and she's probably glad to turn those back over to me. That's all I've got. Thank you.
Well, yeah, that gets started on those skills.
Yeah, I did them all yesterday, so that was came
Let's stop writing skiing. Let's not go back and look at those. I hope they can read this.
Yeah. Great. These are pretty stiff cards.
Yeah, those are pictures the museum department put up.
Yeah, it's noticed, no. Better deal. Friday. I'm Jenny Peterson from the Genealogy Centers.
I'm Cindy. I'm the one that scheduled it. I'm sitting in for Rich.
Didn't figure you matched the name.
Excuse me.
The Junction City Kids making his announcement. Was it Thursday at 4?
Yes.
We got to narrow down to 4. That's what I think.
That's what they're going to do.
That's who's gonna offer the most money, and Venables is a lot of linebacker mentality from
Yeah.
Salina, and it just seems to make the most sense. I thought maybe if Oklahoma had lost to Texas, that might have swung it a little bit, but offering money.
We're not paying basketball. We can't buy them basketball.
Yeah. That sends a strong signal that that type of activity is okay too.
Yeah.
So what was the deal with the agenda, Cindy, yesterday?
So I sent it early morning and Lori came up to me and she's like, did you send the agenda? Because at that time I was busy with Derek trying to work on my computer. And I was like, well, I thought I sent it. So when I got my computer back, I looked in my emails and didn't see it and deleted, didn't see it in my inbox. So I sent it again. And then later, obviously we didn't get them again. So I called IQM2 is who handles Minute-Track and put in a support case. And then in the afternoon, Lori said Rich wanted that textual correction on there. So I amended the agenda and resent it. And that one went through right away.
Okay. I'm trying to figure out why I couldn't open it yesterday afternoon. I couldn't.
Oh, you couldn't even open it?
I couldn't open it. It showed up mid-afternoon, but I couldn't open it. So I'm just trying to troubleshoot because I don't think it was an internal issue. I'm having problems between my router and this computer not liking each other. So I'm thinking that was the issue and not something else. That when you said that there was issues with it, I thought maybe that's what it was, and it wasn't that, but I think it's that.
Well, so I got an email today from IQM2 about the case saying that we needed to work with IT, that maybe it was being held up like in the spam or some other things to work on. So I forwarded that to Corey and they've come to the conclusion they think it's the 365 office that we upgraded to. So we just have to watch it and see. But people that don't have the 365 were getting it. And I'm like, I really feel bad because they're overwhelmed with all these emails I send. But
I was having problems before we did the Windows 11 upgrade, and then it was working fine. But so when I got home yesterday, about just a little bit before 2, it was on there. And I went to try to open it because I wanted to try to catch up while I was listening to my Teams meeting. I was doing it off the phone and I realized I got problems on the phone. I can't listen to the Teams meeting on the phone. So I tried to Bluetooth with earbuds and that works, but it's not convenient. But I was trying to open up the agenda to start looking at it and I couldn't open it.
did you go to just like the website, Riley County website?
I tried to open it from there and I couldn't get it to open there either. And that's when I thought something's up. So you're gonna have to have them look at this and figure out if it's too over secured or something. I don't know.
Not me.
I don't know.
Yeah. Computers are good when they.
Well, I got the MiFi and it's connected to our network. So I mean that'll work, but it's not convenient. So I have to figure it out. Technology's great till it doesn't work.
Yeah.
Morning, I'm Jenny Peterson. I'm president of the Riley County Genealogical Society, so I'm here for an update on that. We've been having a lot of traffic in and out of our library, and we really appreciate the support from the county commissioners for letting us have the Flat House as our home base, and also for the financial assistance you give us. We keep the library open 18 hours a week, 10 to 4 on Tuesdays and Thursdays, and 1 to 4 on Wednesdays and Saturdays. We have a lot of traffic, people coming up for football games, come in and work at the library on Saturday before they go to the game. And yesterday we had somebody in from Texas that was here looking for more information about her family. And we were able to supply her with things she hadn't previously found, which was exciting because we've had some local researchers doing local books. A lot of our traffic is from people out of state who had ancestors here in Riley County. And they're always extremely grateful when they come and find something that they didn't already have. And their contributions as a thank you oftentimes help us with our budget, which is nice to have. It's always kind of nice when they walk out the door and hand you a bunch of money. So, but they are grateful. Family history is a big type item right now with a lot of people. We also have local people who are come in to use our facilities because we have they have access in our library to newspapers.com, ancestry.com, things like that, that they'd have to pay for if they had their own subscription at home. So we have some regulars that come in and do research. And we find that there are a few days when nothing happens, but normally we get a phone call, we get an email request for information. We have new donations to the library to catalog and put into our system. Everything goes into our computer website, which we keep up to date, and hopefully people access that to find both the probate records from the county of Riley County, the naturalization records, births, marriages, deaths, all of that kind of stuff that were in the county records have been digitized over the years and are accessible through our website, which is exciting. We recently added some from Muncie County, I believe it was, and some from Gary County too, some of the naturalization papers that are out there. A lot of other records from Riley County are available through things like Family Search and Ancestry.com too. So you can do a lot online. We also have a lot of hard copy stuff that people like to come in and browse through and see if somebody has written something about their family that we haven't otherwise digitized. So it's a fun place to work and volunteer. We also try to offer programming for the people in the community. We have at least most months, we have a Sunday program at the Manhattan Public Library where we have somebody come in and tell about something that is either family history or genealogy related. We have one coming up this month where a woman was able to break through her brick wall, which is a term in genealogy where you think you've come to a dead end and you just can't find that elusive female ancestor, and then suddenly something happens and you break through. So we're excited to hear Teresa's story on the 22nd, and you're all welcome to that. We draw a crowd usually of 25 to 30 people, which isn't bad for 2 o'clock on a Sunday afternoon in genealogy community. We've had a busy summer with other type of programming too. In August, we were able to resume our biannual, every other year, history and genealogy fair. We had it at Seagull Park, Cottage Hall, on the hottest day of any place in the country on August 19th.
Yeah.
But we had over 35 vendors show up with their displays and their quilts or their family history displays or their availability to help you join the DAR or the DAQ if you wanted to join the Daughters of the American Revolution or the Daughters of American Colonists, or a lot of genealogy history related examples of things that people could learn from. We had about 160 people that spent time there that day out of the elements and in our air conditioned powder hall that you also graciously let us use through the fact that we partnered with the Historical Museum. And they booked it and it was a combined effort between the museum, the Genealogy Center, and the Historical Preservation Society here in town. We had 3 speakers, one from Concordia, Discovering Your Orphan Train Connection, one, Stories of Resilience and Determination, the African American Genealogy Research in Kansas, and that speaker came in from Topeka. And then our third one was on DNA and genealogy, given by one of our professors here at K-State. So, and we had big crowds for both of them. I know we had 50 chairs set up, and most of them were filled. And for the DNA one, we brought in extra chairs, so we had a good crowd. And then in September, our programming was a pie party in our lawn at the Claflin Center Library. We had music provided by the Manhattan Barefoot Dixieland Band. And we had a good crowd of about 60 people. So, and we did get some good publicity from K-Man on that. They sent a reporter and interviewed us. So we get some publicity or some notoriety, some recognition in the community that we're there, that they can join us. That I hoped it would be something that people would know that we exist and come take part in what we do. We have another project in the works that we're excited about that we dreamed up, and that has to do with putting some more markers along the linear trail here in Manhattan about various aspects of Manhattan history, from the grounding of the steamboat Hartford to the site of the early Indian villages. We have a bunch of volunteers, both from the Historical Museum and the Genealogy Center, researching the various stories, and hope to be, and they're applying for some grants to pay for some markers that would be added along there telling the story with good old links to more information on the computer, which are going to be carried for us by the Chapman Center at K-State, I think. So that's in the works. Hopefully I can report on that at another time, more detail once it gets going, but we're excited about that. So do you have any questions?
I don't, but I'm gonna have to probably come over and talk to you guys. I came across some ancestry stuff here over the spring that I need to probably follow up on here locally. So
Great, we'd love to have you. Are you on, all of you are on our mailing list? We were questioning that the other day. Do you get our Kansas Kin publication when it comes out? It's published twice a year. And we want to make sure that you see that. If not, I'll double check the mailing list when I get home, but I want to make sure you do. But yes, you're welcome at any time. And we'd love to have you at any of our events. Our annual meeting is coming up in November, and we have election of officers, speaker talking about the life of an African-American woman and her slave mother who lived and fought for their rights up in Clay County. So it will be interesting to hear his take on her life that he's written a book about. So you're welcome to that too. So,
What date in November is that?
and November 12th, I believe.
12th.
Sunday November 12th, a little earlier in the month. We have first Friday of every month, we have a webinar that we show. And the third Friday, we have a roundtable where people just gather and talk about whatever family genealogy they want. And that time, that has pretty good attendance too. So we're trying to involve as many people as we can. Any other comments or questions? If not, thank you. And
Thank you.
Appreciate your time.
thank you.
That was quick.
Don't see any bruises.
You didn't get lunch?
He's actually smiling.
You haven't seen him.
Really?
He ghosted you, huh?
No, he's there. He was there. Oh, okay, sounds good.
Time, 20 minutes. How long do we need, Shelley? Brian, 20 minutes enough? 25?
Please don't have how much discussion.
Right,
Originally, I was thinking about 30.
on 30? 30. Okay. Okay. I will move that. Go back to the East Coast.
I can add material.
I'm sending you a whole bunch of emails today. Move that the Board of Riley County Commissioners, including Chairwoman Boki, Vice Chairman Ford, and Commissioner McKinley, along with Shelley Woodard, Deputy County Counselor, and Clancy Holman, County Counselor, Attorney for the Commission, recess into executive session pursuant to the preliminary discussions relating to the acquisition of real property exceptions to the Kansas Open Meetings Act to discuss a potential offer of purchase. The open meeting to resume in the County Commission chamber at 11:50 a.m. Rich Fargo, County Clerk, and Brian Foster, BG Consultants, will be present during the executive session to provide factual information.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded that the Board of Riley County Commissioners recess into executive session until 11:50 a.m. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you, Commissioner.
Okay, you're right.
All
right.
She still got it.
Do we have to go to the whole?
Yeah.
Yeah, we go back and then come back
Yeah,
in.
Still got it.
I'll move the Board of County Commissioners come out of executive session.
I'll second.
Been moved and seconded for the Board of County Commissioners to come out of executive session. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Move that record reflect no binding action was taken during the executive session.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded that no binding action was taken during the executive session. All in favor?
Aye. Move once again at the Board of Riley County Commissioners, including Chairwoman Pokey, Vice Chairman Ford, and Commissioner McKinley, along with Shelley Woodard, Deputy County Counselor, and Clancy Holman, County Counselor, attorneys for the commission, recess into executive session pursuant to the preliminary discussions relating to the acquisition of real property exceptions to the Kansas Open Meetings Act, to discuss a potential offer of purchase, the open meeting to resume in the County Commission chamber at 12:05 p.m. Rich Fargo County Clerk and Brian Foster with BG Consultants will be present during the executive session to provide factual information.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded to recess into executive session until 12:05. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you, Commissioners.
And you're back. Okay. I'll move that the Board of County Commissioners, executive session.
Second.
So moved and seconded, the Board of Riley County Commissioners come out of executive session. All in favor?
All right.
Aye.
Also move that the record reflect action shall be taken consistent with the consensus reached in executive session.
Second.
So moved and seconded that action will be taken based on consensus reached in executive session. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you, Commissioner.
Yeah, thank you. Go Casey.
Thanks, Brian.
Thanks, Brian.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you, Shelley.
I have a couple of things. 26, I'm sure you've got email from Emily Wagner at the emergency shelter.
I haven't seen it.
She sent it to all of us. You were on it.
Well, let's see. When was it?
They're having a legislative event. I don't know if that's state or federal. I guess I didn't ask her on that, but she's wanting local leaders to be there. It starts at the Hilton and they're doing a tour of the facility, but it starts at 11. 26th is a Thursday, so wanted to see if we all want to attend, or I'm going to plan on attending if we can shorten up our meeting on that day.
Last thing scheduled at this time is 10:05, sorry, 10:05. So we can put a kibosh on any time after that the commission agrees to.
Okay. I mean, getting over to the Hilton is, 5 minutes or whatever, but let's not schedule anything else. We can do that.
The board okay with 10:05 on the 26th being the last item on the agenda? Remember, we have city county that day.
Yeah, but that's at 4.
Understand?
And that was going to be my second question on 26, because I hadn't seen any confirmation on that.
I believe that's a go ahead.
Okay.
Okay, lunch and tour. Okay, that's it. I see it finally. It came in yesterday afternoon.
Yeah.
I did.
Okay.
O'clock.
I told her I couldn't make that decision on our meeting by myself, so I needed to make sure.
Or is it okay with the board to say nothing after 10:30?
10:30, yeah. Everything's moving fast and heavy on events and stuff. It's just that time.
It is. They're just this time of year.
Can you send me that Commissioner Ford? That way we can put a little note at the bottom of the agenda about that event.
Yeah. I gotta find exact, didn't deleted it or something, but I'll find it.
Yeah, anyone do that, forward it to me, it'd be great.
And then I know this usually shows up on the agenda at some point in time. I got an email from Betty Olivia from KAC on voting delegate.
Voting delegate.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's on next.
Okay, so I don't have to worry about that.
Yeah,
that's. Okay,
I think it's the next one anyway.
Okay,
But yeah,
so I can go and put in my calendar 26 for city county then. 4 p.m. city.
yeah.
Okay, I'll go ahead and put that on there. So, because everything's filtering in, like just so it's there.
How long are they projecting? How long this is going to last?
11 to 1. It's on the.
Yeah, 11 to 1 was. That's it. Yeah, 11 to 1. So that includes lunch. Okay.
And I'll email her back and say, does everybody want to attend? If not, that's fine. I'm going to go, but. Okay.
Before I say that, let me look. Because October's been a mess.
Yeah, you have no idea. I thought finally it's going to calm down on the 20th. And it's still May, but there's just a few little things that are just kind of popping up along the way.
Personal things, Jeff, put them down.
I got 3 different doctor's appointments this month too. How the hell does that happen?
Yeah.
Kind of 3.
Okay.
All right. Something else?
No, I think that covers it today.
We made our bets for the game.
Yep.
Or projections, I'll say.
Yeah.
He's the one who said bets, remember?
I didn't bet on nothing because I never win. So it's remembers for me.
And John Law shows up, just remember who
They're all pretty close.
were sacrificed.
I just hope they win. I think
I agree. I hope that win.
Was that AG back in the sixties or seventies that was chasing after and
Vern Miller.
Burn Miller?
That's right. I'll fix your flat tire Pearl. It was actually,
heard stories.
there was a Vern Miller story about, there was a song about Vern Miller.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
It really was.
Oh, really?
And that was reminding me of that other thing.
That's when he
Merle Haggard.
flew over Kansas, he couldn't drink and play.
Yeah.
That was one of them.
Yeah.
I don't remember that.
I've heard stories and I just shake my head.
Apparently at one point he jumped out of a trunk.
Yeah.
And the whole Joe Hall,
Stuff.
what is it, the Kansas two-step or whatever it is, Joe Hall, that's the reason why we have the appointment process, the Supreme Court. The governor lost his race.
Yeah.
And before, during the lame duck session there, he resigned as governor. And with the intent that the lieutenant governor then would immediately get him appointed while session was out to the Supreme Court. So it made everybody mad, and that's why they had the process of adding the bar to the scenario list of appointees, so that didn't happen again.
Yeah, I remember that now.
There's your history lessons for the day.
Yeah.
He was raiding bingo games at the churches.
He was pretty active. He was an interesting guy. He was a very active attorney after he went into private practice. And he was a politician. He's one of those, he never forgot the name and all the family members. First time he entered, it didn't matter, hundreds of people, because he was so active in politics. He never forgot. He was also full of energy. When he'd stand there and talk to you, he'd go back and forth from foot to foot. Jeez. He was about that tall. He was an amazing guy. And deep into his 70s, at least, he was still riding around on dirt bikes out in the middle of nowhere.
Really?
Oh, yeah. He had character. Yeah.
And the state got made fun of a lot during those days.
Just during those days?
Well, then.
People haven't forgotten him.
No.
Okay, well, with that said, then I'll go ahead and make a motion that we adjourn the October 12th meeting of the Riley County Commission.
Second.
This ain't moved and seconded to adjourn the October 12th meeting of the Board of Riley County Commissioners. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.